I'm here with CS Darren Nolan. He's going to talk us all through the passing out parade today. CS Nolan, what is the significance of the Bloods and the 3rd Battalion here? What is the history?
Well, the history of the 3rd Battalion goes back a long way. Off the top head, it goes back to the 1920s when it was actually established up in Ulster. But then during that time as well, there was a number of garrisons up there, and they were put together, which formed the 3rd Battalion. But then that years when the state of emergency arrived, the 3rd Battalion was actually sent down to the southeast to protect the southeast, because it was such a large area between Dublin, Cork, and then you got the southeast coast there as well. So this was all before you had the barracks in Wexford and Waterford and all that, like so. But then in '98, then because they were stating the Curragh, so when Kilkenny was here then as well, like it was the 30th Battalion. But then in 1998, then it was changed. Then it was amalgamated into 3rd Battalion. Then so that's where we lost the 30th, but became 3rd Battalion Bloods. So it was moved. That time the HQ was brought down. There was still a unit up there. B Company was up there in the Curragh. It still held the Bloods as well, the 3rd Battalion's title as well. But then a number of years ago, then it was turned to 1 Mechai, and then we got transferred into the Bloods, the 3rd Battalion then.
Because I often be talking to the veterans, and any veterans who come from the Bloods, they'd be so proud to say we're from the Bloods. The Bloods.
It is. It's just a long history there as well. Like I mean, like my father was in the army as well for 21 years. He left in '97, but he was always the 30th Battalion. But he did train in the Curragh as well, 3rd Battalion. But even talking to the veterans here, I mean, because it held so much a long stature up in the Curragh. It was kind of a big training establishment there for so long, and it had a lot of history as well. It trained a lot of people going through. I mean, for same thing as about here, we have a platoon here now passing out. Some of them will go to Cork and Galway and all that. Or saying like with the Curragh, the 3rd Battalion up there was a big training establishment for recruit platoons, and I was training in '97. It was 3rd Battalion then, and a few of us left there to come to Kilkenny. A few others went in other units as well. Like so, there's a big long history there. Not just the 3rd Battalion, but other units have their own history as well, which is great. And plus, then we have a big sense of pride here to be related to the 3rd Battalion.
Following format. Firstly, General Officer Commandant 1 Brigade, Brigadier General Patrick Flynn, will arrive on parade accompanied by the Officer Commanding 3rd Battalion, and military honours will be rendered. Platoon Commander 2nd Lieutenant Hennessy will then invite the General Officer Commanding 1 Brigade to inspect the NCOs and 17 recruits on parade. Following the inspection, each row of recruits will then march forward and receive their certificates from the GOC 1 Brigade Brigadier General Flynn. Following the receipt of certificates, GOC 1 Brigade and OC 3rd Infantry Battalion will then present the Best Shot Award, James Stevens Award, and finally the Best Soldier Award.
So at the moment then you've got Sergeant Whelan, right, bring the platoon on to the parade. After in formation then you hand over to the lieutenants, then lieutenants.
The ceremony will then be concluded and refreshments will be available in the dining complex in the NCO's mess at Stevens Barracks.
It's a very proud day for the recruits today.
Oh, it is, yeah. As the LT says, long during training, you know what I mean? And this is like the final day they're putting everything they've done during training in practice, you know. So you got the foot drill, the weapons drill, but also most importantly they're working as a team then to show what they can do.
And it's a very robust training, isn't it? Very physically robust, 15 week training.
That's what it demands, you know what I mean? You get introduction to the military career, you know, and
we did a little bit of a reshoot.
The recruit training is the basis of all that, like.
There's a lot of effort and training put into this parade, isn't there?
Oh, it is, especially the last couple of weeks when they come off the final phase on the ground. They put a lot of effort in this then to make sure everything's the I's dotted and T's crossed for it, you know.
And would this be the first day that they're wearing the number one?
No, it won't be. They did a lot of dress rehearsal as well. They did a lot of inspections then during the course of the training as well. So once they get, after the first initial 2 weeks, they start getting all their kit. And when they get the number ones, then they're showing how to look after iron, and then have the parades then every week then with the lieutenant then. So it makes sure they're up to high standard for these parades. So then after the training, then doing 3-star course, same thing. But when they're finished as a 3-star, they can actually maintain their number ones then during the career. So yeah,
it's a very proud moment for the recruits to put on the number ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, anytime you put on a uniform, there's a bit of pride there as well. And they're probably looking to the left and right at the minute with the training NCOs. You see there's medals there as well, a lot of experience in overseas and at home. So they're kind of looking towards that. What can I do to achieve this? Not just going overseas, but he's one becoming an NCO as well, either a corporal or a sergeant, like Sergeant Wheeler, you know.
What's happening now?
So basically now he's just ready now. He has the platoon ready. Now the lieutenant who's over platoon is walking on to parade, and he'll get handover from the sergeant. So now the handover is complete now. So Sergeant Wheeler's going to the rear.
And the lieutenant is holding a ceremony sword.
That's right.
Tell me about that.
Well, that's anytime they're doing the parades themselves, alright, that's what they carry. Instead of weapons, we're the ones carrying the weapons, and they have to carry the sword. So it's a kind of a symbol of command and authority. So now he's lowering the sword to resting position. Now we're just preparing for the arrival of the GOC.
So we're waiting on the GOC to arrive onto the parade square. But we were just talking earlier about the very severe, robust training for the first recruits.
Yeah.
And after this training, after the passing out, they're going to be having the continuity training of going into the...
That's right. So they go on to their 3-star course, which is be 14 weeks long. And this is that kind of training is more enjoyable because you get more hands-on type of training or types of exercise that we do in relation to outside, at home and abroad. So in relation to what we do with aid to civil power, we do with the Gardaí. So you got cordon searches and so forth, onto operations then overseas. So it's a lot more robust, but it's more enjoyable. You know what I mean? So a lot of hands-on.
Yes, and also within the recruit training, there's an offer. It's not just physically robust training; it's also mentally and emotionally robust training as well.
It is. Anything you do with the army, I mean, you have to be mental toughness is a big thing. So I mean, you can run through walls as much as you can, but if you don't have the mental toughness to see things through, I mean, that's where you fall down on then. So yeah, and with the army then that prepares you for it. It shows you how to deal with things. And at the end, then you should be able to deal with certain aspects of the military life. So.
And I'm talking from experience myself, because my son is a member of the Defence Force. I remember when my son came home after the first week of recruit training, I noticed straight away that even in his posture and the way he walked, there's a great sense of pride.
There is a pride, yeah. And you're able to look after yourself. You probably saw him do his washing a bit more, or iron a small bit, you know what I mean? Because he's shown, not washing, but even iron number ones, you know what I mean? You spend time at that, making sure the creases are ironed properly, and you probably see that carried on to maybe if his suits at home for weddings. I mean, you see a lot more of that. Like, but they take pride in themselves, you know what I mean? They're told that, look, you're in the army now, you get a head up, you have to think above the rest now, you know what I mean? So yeah.
And this is also a very proud day, not just for the recruits. It's a very proud day for their families.
Oh, big time, yeah.
And I know for me it was a very proud day, so I can just imagine what all the mums and dads and sisters, and also not just for the families in the recruit training, but for the Defence Force as well.
It is a big thing for the family as well. I mean, they're putting a lot of time and effort into this, especially the mother and fathers. If you've got young lads or girls there or single, whatever, like, I mean, they're away all week, they're coming back, and the parents are helping them out. Remember, I got helped out big time, you know what I mean, when I joined up. But to come here then to see the final product, you could say, the final moment for them, like for the recruit train, and see what they can put into practice, what they learned, you know what I mean? And you see they have the heads up held high for the parents or the girlfriends or boyfriends, you know what I mean? Even girlfriends and boyfriends to people are here as well. Like, a big day for them as well, like, yes. I mean, what responsibilities they have back at home, you know what I mean? And they're letting go of that for this duration. And plus there's going to be another 14 weeks then after this as well, like, you know. So so they're kind of marrying into the army themselves, yeah. And
there's a big sense of family unity within the Defence Forces, isn't there?
Oh, there is. You know, I mean, if you get to, like, we're all have family here that if someone can't do something, there's always someone beside you to pick it up. You know what I mean? That's the best thing. Look, I know a job outside, but we're here with us. I mean, if someone's feeling down themselves, if you can't do something, a certain job or task, there's always there to pick it up, especially overseas. When they go overseas now, and hopefully in the future, there's always someone there left and right to give them a hand, you know what I mean? So it's not just 6 months, you got the time beforehand and time after that they can readjust. That's the GOC of this, so yeah. And being come by the Battalion Commander. So at the moment now, the platoon's getting ready for a general salute for the GOC.
Cortes Generalta, Turgig, out!
What's happening now?
So it's like with the sergeant, he's doing a handover to the lieutenant. Now the lieutenant's doing a handover to the GOC. So we're ready for inspection. So you have to give an honour to the GOC. I'll ask him then to inspect the parade. So he's walking forward. He'll inspect the parade by he stopped to 1 and 2.
The music is being performed by the Defence Forces
That's
band.
right, the band, that's right, yeah. So that's totally their job then, to go around to all the ceremonies or special occasions. Band, yeah. So they're travelling up from Cork, they're here all week as well, practicing and rehearsing as well, along with platoon. So
we were talking earlier about how proud it was for the families and the recruits and the Defence Forces itself. It's a very proud day for Kilkenny.
oh, yeah, of course it is. I mean, it's about being active here as well. I mean, to induct new recruits to the army, especially the 3rd Battalion here in Kilkenny. So because the more numbers we get here, the better it be for our job as well, to help the community as well, and for local events and all that, you know what I mean? Any help that we can give to the community benefits us as well, you know what I mean? And the community as well.
Because this year the 3rd Battalion was very, very active within the community. You hosted, under Lieutenant Colonel Mert Larkin, the summer barbecue, an auction for the Good Shepherds.
Yeah, I heard that was a good success as well. Like, I mean, after getting bigger since last year, so they still looked at what can we do more for the community, and that was one for the Good Shepherd as well. I don't know actually how much they earned, but I heard it was good. Like
21,000.
That's it. Yeah. So a lot of stuff auctioned off. It was great. Like, and they had a few bands and comedians that night.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it was the same time as the Castle so wasn't
That's
it?
right,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it. So it was brilliant.
And there was all the 3rd Battalion under Lieutenant Colonel Mert Larkin have also done an awful lot for all charities like Chalk Tom.
Yeah, Chuck Tom. I think we've done what I know is we've done a few cycle events here. We've done a 24-hour cycle event down below the hall, and then I know there's a few other events, but like doing a few cycles here ourselves. Yeah, so we try to engage in all the charities. You know what I mean? Can't just really focus on 1 or 2. Like, try to give it all to all of them. You know what I mean? So spread the wealth, as we say.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
But also, Kilkenny is a very strong military city.
It is, yeah. For years, yeah. I mean, the Barracks there with the history that it has. But it's not that, it's with the history that has with all the families as well, like, you know what I mean? I know my own family, my own father was in it, I have uncles and cousins, and my own sister's in it as well. So, I mean, and each one of them probably have other relations in it as well, like, you know, so, yeah, big strong history here in town, yeah.
And not only that, having a military barracks here in Kilkenny, it also helps the local economy.
It does, yeah. You notice there now with all the local shops, especially Eurospar up the road. I mean, a lot of young lads go up there and that's where they go to buy stuff for the lunch. But it's not that, you have all the families here as well, like, you know what I mean, buying stuff for the household and all that, like, but then you got clothing shops down here as well. You know what I mean? It does help, you know what I mean? You got over 500 people here in the barracks, and that doesn't affect the economy. You know what I mean? What doesn't?
It does.
You know what I mean?
I can just imagine what all the young recruits who are now thinking and feeling with such pride, wearing their number ones and being inspected by the GOC.
Well, that's it, like, I mean, he's our boss man of the South, like, you know what I mean, and if he's going around, then it should be a proud day. I mean, I'm going around inspecting, it should be a proud day anyway. Anytime you put the number ones on, it's always a proud day.
And the sun is coming out as
yeah, it's warm, yeah. I got a good day for it now.
You did.
The light for him. Because we often have the watershed, the haul up in the watershed on standby during bad weather, and I know you get very cramped in it, but it doesn't look good in, you know what I mean, as a square. So this is where it should be, you know what I mean.
I suppose for the families and the mothers, 15 weeks ago was a blink in the eye when they brought the sons in and the daughters in, and they went through the arch then to sign the declaration.
That's it, yeah. I mean, they're saying, oh, look, they have high hopes, and it's, oh, are they going to be back? Will they stick it? But the ones that are here on the square, they're the ones that stuck it by it, you know what I mean? And they got through it, and keep their heads up now for the next 14 weeks, 15 weeks, and they push on through, and no doubt they will. Like, this is the basis of all military training, which is the recruit training. So once you get past this, see things away, oh, I can't wait till I finish this. No, oh, I'm looking at this again. Just always go with a positive attitude now for any course to do now in the army. So. And
it's a great achievement for anyone to pass out in the passing out.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got a lot of tests there, and I mean, for the recruit training, you got your marching test, you got the weapons test, you got on the ranges as well, they passed their shooting, for the mag, the GPMG, the Steyr. There's a lot of other tests there as well, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of pressure on them as well. Plus with the guidance and instruction by the NCOs, they need to get through it, you know.
So after this becoming now professional soldiers.
That's it. At the moment now the platoon's getting ready. Okay, there's going to be a number of recruits brought forward. There's going to be the oath. So the oath on enlistment is read by a recruit, and the Defence Forces values will be written out as well.
We fly! We flying out!
They're laying down their weapons now.
Yeah, so
we shoot!
What they're doing is going to be
we testing run!
So they're just preparing themselves, right, to each rank is going to be brought forward and given their certification of their passing out their recruit training. So this is something they can hang up as well, you know what I mean? So at the moment now we're going to have 3 recruits coming forward. So you got recruit Keller, okay, he's going to read the Oath of Allegiance. You got recruit Wall, and he's going to read Defence Forces Dignity Charter. You got recruit Callahan, they're going to read the values of Defence Forces. So. And with the values then, the rest of the platoon is going to give them a hand as well.
Members of the 155th Platoon, we solemnly swear that we will be faithful to Ireland and loyal to the Constitution, and that while we are members of the Defence Forces, we will obey all lawful orders issued by our superior officers, and that while we are members of the Permanent Defence Forces, we will not join or be a member of or subscribe to any political organisation or society or any secret society whatsoever.
So she's read the Oath of Enlistment. Okay, then you got the Dignity Charter.
The Defence Forces of Ireland are committed to maintaining a work environment, whether within the state or when deployed overseas, that encourages and supports the right to dignity at work. All personnel of the Defence Forces are expected to respect the right of each individual to dignity in the work environment and all activities of their service. Command and authority will be exercised in such a manner that all personnel of the Defence Forces are respected for their individuality and diversity and are provided with a tolerant and safe place to work. Bullying, sexual harassment and harassment in any form is not accepted by us and will not be tolerated. Our policies, procedures and actions will underpin the principles and objectives of this Charter and contribute to the professional work environment. We recognise that the Defence Forces as a military organisation differs from all other workplaces. However, command and authority is never an excuse for bullying or other harassing behaviour. All personnel of the Defence Forces and civilians or other contractors employed to work for the Defence Forces have a duty and responsibility to uphold this Charter. Commanders at all levels have a specific responsibility to promote the provisions of this Charter. We also expect commanders to lead by example, not only in respect of their own behaviour, but also in response to the behaviour of others.
So you can get Recruit Callan is going to read the values of Defence Forces. So we have the platoon.
The first value of the Defence Forces is respect! Respect starts with self-respect and it should extend to others. We must treat others with dignity, respect, tolerance and understanding. The second value of the Defence Forces is loyalty! We must be loyal to our comrades, the Defence Forces in Ireland. Loyalty is the thread that binds us together and causes us to support each other, our family and our country. The third value of the Irish Defence Forces is selflessness! Selfless service means placing our duty before our personal needs and desires. We must be faithful to Ireland and loyal to the Constitution. The fourth value of the Defence Forces is integrity! Integrity means that we demonstrate the highest standards of ethical behaviour and moral values by displaying honesty, sincerity, reliability, consistency and a willingness to speak in an open and straightforward manner. Integrity is vital in the developing of trust among our team. The fifth value of the Defence Forces is physical courage! We must have the physical courage to persevere with the mission despite danger and adversity. The sixth value of the Defence Forces is moral courage! We must do what is right, even if our actions are unpopular or challenge prevailing attitudes. Moral courage enables us to speak out clearly against wrongdoing, inappropriate behaviour, rule breaking or a lack of professionalism. We seek us!
They're marching back now to the...
Yeah. So they're marching back then to the platoon, getting in position, and what they're going to be doing then under command of Sergeant Whelan. You be brought forward, each rank be brought forward independently to receive their certs then. So it's something to have for themselves then. So that's just another reason why they put the weapons on the side as well, on the ground, so they can, their hands are free to march up and receive what gifts they're given then between the certs and a few prizes there as well. So
And James Stevens Barracks is one of the oldest barracks in Ireland, is that correct?
oh, it is, yeah. With the Bloods here as well, and before that was the 3rd Battalion, but with Hanover there, I can't remember the date, but yeah, from the English, yeah, it's one of the oldest, yeah. So with their names being called out, it's a mark of recognition then from the Defence Force that you have passed out, and they brought forward, then they received their certifications then individually again.
Wow, what a proud moment.
It is, yeah.
Because it takes an awful lot of personal courage and personal integrity to actually go through the passing out and become a soldier and a member of the Defence Forces.
That's it, you know what I mean? That's what we're looking for in each individual to become a team member as well, to hold the values, close to heart, as you say, to be a soldier. And hopefully they carry this on through the Defence Forces career.
They're marching off now to let the other...
Yeah, that's it, so just making room for the next rank to come up, and they're to be marched back to position again.
Recruit O'Reilly. Recruit Manica.
And wants to go back to the
Recruit
COs
Hensley.
then.
Recruit Glenn. Recruit O'Connell. Recruit Strasny. Recruit Coughlin. Recruit Toomey. Recruit Ruth. Recruit Erasmus.
And when the recruits have just received their certificates and they go back, they do a march while they're standing still. Is that what's the significance
it's called
about that?
marking time.
Yes.
So it gives them a chance to get in position, and then the NCO will bring them to a complete stop. So marking time is just once they go into a certain line, mark time so they can get easily adjust their position, and then you give them a start with a stop, and then turn left then back into formation again. So. And as you can see, the with platoon though, you can see the lanyards on their left shoulder.
Yes.
So we don't get each and single one of them recruits or when you pass out with 3-star. There's a number of units that get a fair share of the personnel as well. So that not just the one unit, but there's other units then in the south or elsewhere they get a couple from that as well. So at this present time, you probably get a recruit platoon in Limerick or in Galway, and the same thing. Like they've got any local lads from Kilkenny. Like they just didn't make the platoon here. They probably got the platoon in Galway or Limerick. And once they finish training, they'd come to us as well. So as you see, there's different lanyards. You got blue. So yeah, you got Galway. Yeah, red and white is the 3rd Battalion. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, individual prizes will now be presented by the General Officer commanding 1 Brigade to the recruits on parade. The Best Shot Award. The award for Best Shot is presented to the recruit who achieved the highest overall score firing their personal weapon during rifle marksmanship training. The award for Best Shot goes to Private Aaron Stone.
So here's now Private Stone. Now he's getting best shot in the Steyr. So here's one reward that's been given out. So during the course of the training, then they're showing how to look after the weapon, take it apart, clean it, and then they're showing how to fire it. And then each day, then every few weeks or so often, they're brought down to the range then, and how to get instruction to the weapon itself. And then later on, they're given a qualification shoot then. So Private Stone then he got top marks then for this then, so he achieves the best shot.
The James Stephens Award. The James Stephens Award is presented to the recruit who has contributed most to the esprit de corps of the 155th Recruit Platoon and the common spirit of camaraderie, enthusiasm and devotion to duty amongst the group. This recruit best espouses the Defence Force's values of respect, loyalty, selflessness, physical courage, moral courage and integrity. The James Stephens Award goes to Private Dylan Cosgrave.
So this is an award that was brought on a number of years ago, the James Stephens Award. So as the LT says, there is about the person who brings the Defence Force's values and towards the team and gets the team along, who's maybe a joker but still gets on with the job, you know what I mean? And when the team is down, he brings them up again.
And that's very important within recruit training.
It is. I mean, if everyone's feeling glum, you know what I mean, you get nothing done. You need someone to lift their spirits, you know what I mean, when times get tough, especially when you're overseas, times get a bit tough, you need someone there beside you to lift you up, you know what I mean, and keep it going.
And especially through recruit training, because you have to overcome the self-doubt and gain that inner confidence.
That's it. I mean, it's all about looking after you. You have to look after your own case, yourself, and then your body as well. Not just your body, your section. Then you have to do to complete the task. You know what I mean? What can you do? you give your buddies a hand, or the rest of the platoon as well. I mean, there's jobs there and tasks given to them each week. Every day they're given tasks, so it's about then just rising up with the challenge and trying to get things done, and together as a team. And that's one of the things then as well, that's a combination of this today. As I said, the parade ground is a basic foundation of all military life. I mean, they're getting their uniforms ready, they're doing marching, they're doing weapons drill, but once they're handed over by the Sergeant Whelan, they're on their own then, so they work as a team to give a drill what they can do as a team. So whatever formation they do, whatever drill they do, it leads on into other stuff, like say you go to tactics or overseas, that you can follow simple commands or formations. I mean, what can you do? You know, so.
And is this for the Best Soldier Award?
Yeah, Best Soldier Award, yeah. So this is basically an award for a person who's topped all the marks, all the scores and all the tests. I mean, who improved and kept those scores above. And not just score as well, but just anytime the buddies need help, he's there as well to help along. So now the presentation is done, the platoon is going to get ready now for the drill, the ceremonial drill they'll be doing. And
They're lifting up their guns
that's
now.
it, yeah, so they're getting ready for the drill. So they need the weapons for that.
So they're marching now.
Yeah, so they're going to be brought off and it's going to get ready for the drill.
The 155 Recruit Platoon, under the command of Sergeant Whelan, will now perform a drill display.
So tell us, what is a drill display?
Basically, for the last couple of weeks, they've been working on a number of movements, which will be done by the recruits. So various movements with the weapons, especially in their formation as well. So you might see them going in two lines, and I think they're doing an X as well, a wheel. Right. Yeah. So now I didn't actually see it, but it's the basis of all movement for the drill for the last couple of years. I mean, well, I done as well. So back in '97. So yeah, it's a good way to see that they're working together in a formation.
And the teamwork and all work.
Yes, exactly. You know what I mean? They're working on each part separately, and once those parts are finalised, they bring it all together as well. You know what I mean? As a team, then. So you probably hear one of the recruits inside just giving a small little command as well. Like, so here's the recruits coming out. Mine's the NCOs. So this is all about them now. So you can see now they're now two ranks. So as you can see, there's markers around. See the black markers?
Yes.
So there's small, it's kind of square, kind of marked out. So within this, then they conduct the drill.
The little round markers on the ground.
Yeah.
And
so at the moment now they're splitting off now. So there's a rank going each way, and they probably go lengthways then down. That's it. So now you'll see them to cross over as an X. So you see them going through each gaps. So the two ranks then are crossing over. So it's all about proper timing.
Wow, that's beautiful, isn't it? That's what's called military precision.
That's it, yeah. If you had a high-rise building here, you'd be able to see it. Yes. You know what I mean?
So they're going
to go again, yeah. So to do it a number of times, and then one time they'll probably stop, and they'll probably do a wheel.
That's just beautiful, isn't it, to watch?
Yeah.
So they've done that for the second time now.
That's it. Well, it's not that, and then plus they have to go around the markers at the same time as well.
So they're walking towards one another out now. And they're doing the
marking time.
marking time.
So what you see, they're all touching up, they're covering off. So at the moment now we're getting the long arm dressing. So the right arm is towards the other man's shoulder, giving spacing. So they're going to be conducting a weapon drill here now at the moment.
What is a weapon drill?
Basically, I'm moving with the ceremonial weapon.
Oh yes.
That's it. There you are. The reason why they need a space, you see, then on top, then there's a bayonet attached. So these are even though they're ceremonial bayonets, but they still have an edge on it. So they're basically doing a Mexican wave effect with the hands.
Touching the guns.
That's it, yeah. And
Or the
each
ammunition.
person.
It's very effective for anyone watching because they're wearing the white gloves.
That's it. I mean, you spot everything with white gloves, yeah. And when it's done properly, I mean, the effect is unreal, you know.
And you can see the sense of pride in the recruits' faces and their expressions and their body posture.
That's it. I mean, yeah, that's the expression of concentration. You know what I mean? Because they've been at this so long. The last few weeks, they may get things right. They're not thinking what's going to be done now. They're thinking what's the next step. Always.
And pride mummies and daddies and partners, boyfriends and girlfriends and children watching.
That's it. And all the phones are out as well.
Yes.
The cameras.
Where would we be without our phones now? So they're holding up their rifles.
Yeah.
What does that signify?
Oh, it's just that it's just moving you burn up because they're burning to the shoulder again.
Right.
So you can't go straight from the hip to the shoulder. You come out, and so it's going to give you a space between the body and the weapon,
Right.
so you can actually manoeuvre to your shoulder. So then you're off marching again.
There's a reason behind everything that you do, isn't there? In
It's, as you said, I mean, it's about military precision as well. I mean, if you can't get things right here on the parade ground, you can't get things right at home or abroad. I mean, as I said, it's the foundation for everything. So they're back in two ranks here to be brought looking forward, and probably they will be doing another weapon drill again. So what you saw there is a few people from the front rank and the rear rank going a step forward and back to make a third rank, which are the middle rank. So they're back in three ranks there at the moment.
And when you say three ranks, just for
It's
it's
just
three
basically
lines.
3 lines, that's it, yeah. So here's another weapons drill. Doing a slow march up towards the dignitaries. So now we're coming near the end of the drill. As you can see, the train NCOs come back onto the parade ground.
And the NCOs, are they the Defence Force members that trained them?
Yes, that's it. They've been here since the start. They went down to collect them in Cork and then brought them forward and got me sworn in and inducted in. And they've been there ever since then, since the training started. So what you have then, you got, because it's 3 sections, you got 3 NCOs, kind of the ICs over. Then they also have NCOs, then kind of 2 ICs that got the stuff then for them as well.
Following an excellent display of drill by our new 2-star soldiers, please join me in a round of applause.
Officer Commanding 3rd Infantry Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Declan Crummy, Deputy Mayor of Kilkenny City, Councillor John Coonan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly of all, members of the 155th Recruit Platoon. Erdús is Cushmore Ahas Dumsa, Falta Criul la Corroid Galair, Gadi Dún Vic Stefan in you, Conan Broad Shaw, Atá Agrahe de Var Criach, Cursa Arkach, Queen Kate Quegas Kui. As General Officer Commanding 1 Brigade, it is my honour to welcome the families and friends of the 155th Recruit Platoon to Stephen's Barracks on the occasion of the ceremonial parade to mark the successful completion of the platoon's initial training in the Defence Forces. I wish to acknowledge and compliment the standard of dress, deportment and drill on today's parade, and the impressive contribution of the band of 1 Brigade under the baton of Captain Brian Prendergast. Today's parade marks the conclusion of 15 weeks of intensive and demanding training. This is a significant milestone in your military careers and a day of pride and celebration for all of you, your families and your colleagues in Óglaigh na hÉireann. Recruit training aims to induct the new recruit into the Defence Forces while developing the individual physically, mentally and socially. The training is designed to expand the character, morale and discipline of the recruit and to prepare the individual for a broad spectrum of military operations in unpredictable environments, both at home and on overseas service. It is for this reason that the course has been so demanding. Your physical, mental and tactical capacities have been incrementally developed and tested. You have gained valuable skills and techniques required for service in the Defence Forces. These include your ability to operate as a member of a section in changeable surroundings and in physically demanding conditions by day and by night. Your training has also taught you a keen sense of duty, patriotism and an awareness of the Defence Forces' ethos and traditions, loyalty and service to the state. You should now understand the professional ethics and values of the Defence Forces and be able to incorporate these values into your military and civilian lives. Over the past 15 weeks, you have been involved in some significant activities which have included battle physical training on Tramore Beach, a 16.8 kilometre loaded march from Three Castles to Stephen Barracks, following the platoon's 96-hour field training exercise. The section race to the top of Blackstaff Hill in Kilworth, which was won by number 2 section during section field training. These accomplishments were intertwined with completing your basic fieldcraft lessons, weapons training, camouflage and concealment, medical training, communication systems training, and unarmed combat, all of which have helped you to successfully integrate into military life. These activities are designed to develop within you the Defence Forces values which we've heard of already, of respect, integrity, loyalty, selflessness, physical and moral courage, and to ensure that you as members of the Defence Forces accept the responsibility of your rank both effectively and with competence. Now, having completed the first phase of your military training, you can look forward to the next challenge, your 3-star training. This course will teach you to perform fundamental military disciplines that you will carry forward to your units and on into your military careers. The skills that you have learned and will learn will come to the fore in future deployments, both at home and abroad, in assisting on Garda Síochána in aid to the civil power operations, the local authorities in aid to the civil authority operations, in Portlaoise prison or as part of an overseas mission. The Defence Forces is a learning organisation and promotes a culture of lifelong learning. You will be afforded the opportunity for education, personal development and professional experiences at all stages of your careers. This will help you to improve your employability for your multi-skilled roles in the Defence Forces and afterwards in civilian life. On successful completion of your 2 to 3-star training, many of you will, in the future, be presented with the opportunity to complete a potential NCO course, and many others which will help further your careers and your personal and professional development. Grab these opportunities with both hands. The 155th Recruit Platoon is a cohesive unit comprising 17 students from Cork, Kildare, Kilkenny, Galway, Wexford, Dublin, Carlow, Laois, Offaly and Greece. I wish to particularly congratulate the recipients of the prizes on these fantastic achievements, where we saw Recruit Owen Wall getting the best overall recruit, Recruit Aaron Stone for the best shot, and Recruit Dylan Cosgrave for the James Stevens Award. Your success would not have been possible without the efforts, commitment and dedication of your extremely professional training staff under the leadership of your company commander, Commandant Tom Boucher, your platoon commander, Second Lieutenant Eamon Hennessy, your platoon sergeant, Sergeant Johnny Whelan, and all of the section NCOs who were involved in your introduction to military life. Can I just add that having served here as Officer Commanding 3rd Infantry Battalion, there is a great pride in this unit as regards training at all levels, and today is no exception. The attendance here today of so many families and friends of the members of the 155th Recruit Platoon is heartwarming. It is also wonderful to see the tradition of family members serving the defence family support. It's an important factor in enabling a soldier to fulfil the myriad of difficult and demanding tasks that he or she will encounter. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, the families, friends and loved ones of the 155th Recruit Platoon, for the support, patience and understanding throughout the last 15 weeks. In concluding, I congratulate you once again on your achievement in successfully completing this intensive and demanding course. I encourage you to be confident, strong, resourceful and versatile soldiers. I am confident that the experiences and friendships you have gained during your training will endure throughout your careers in the Defence Forces. Enjoy the rest of the day's activities and I look forward to meeting you and your families. Go nairi and borliv galir agus go rila mahagwid as up for fina. Bilish Gabral.
So at the moment now the national anthem is going to be played.
Again, usually, ladies and gentlemen, the Irish national anthem will now be played. You are invited to stand. All military personnel not on parade will salute.
Run! Cortège to now run the V! Tergig! Out!
So what doing is Lieutenant Hennessy is asked for permission to dismiss the parade.
Again, usually, ladies and gentlemen, General Officer Commanding 1 Brigade is now departing the parade. You are invited to remain standing.
Run! Seek! Run! Win Sergeant, Lalison Club.
So what he left now is handing back over command to the sergeant. So Sergeant Johnny Whelan.
Wait! Wait! Hey!
And also we have the band marching up as well, so We're getting close to the end.
Again, Ursula, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony for today. The new 2-star soldiers will be dismissed from parade by Sergeant Whelan. You were invited for refreshments in the dining hall and NCO's mess, Stephen's Barracks. Thank you, and Danish Cabral.
So now they're being marched off. That's it.
They can breathe.
That's it, and breathe now. That's it, all done.
They can breathe.
That's it.
Go and hug them.
That's it, go hug the mammies and girlfriends and all that.
crying.
Yeah, and have a cup of tea, and get ready then for tonight, and they can enjoy the night then for a few drinks and dinner then with their families and friends and then the NCOs as well.
And that's a very significant evening for the soldiers and their families.
It is. I mean, it's not celebrated as much after the 3-star course, because this is now they're inducted into the army now. They got through the train now. They made it into the army now as well, and with all those harder weeks of training as well. So it's about kind of a get together now. They can just, have a few drinks, enjoy themselves as a group with their families, their friends,
and
celebrate their hard work. And then plus there'll be a few laughs and giggles tonight. And you remember this, you remember that. And then I think they're off then for a week, and then to recuperate the body and the mind, and then back then for their 3-star course then for more training. And
the 3-star course that lasts for 12 weeks. Am I correct?
That's 12 weeks. And as I said, it's a lot more enjoyable, a lot more hands-on, a lot more on what we actually do at home and abroad. And so you see what operations we do with the Gardaí, with the Fire Brigade, all the response teams that we have here in Kilkenny or at home. It's a lot more interesting, to do riot training and so on. Yeah, a lot more what we do at home and abroad, honestly, yeah.
Well, on behalf of all of us here in Kilkenny, we'd like to thank every member of the 3rd Battalion and all here in Kilkenny and all the members of the Defence Force. Thank you for your service, as you definitely do strengthen our nation.
Okay, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
All right.